to own it. Just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here. Oh, we are just stressed here. Used to be so easy with you.
Thanks for coming on my show today. It's so good to have you.
Thank you for letting me be here.
So tell our viewers a little bit about who you are and what you're doing.
Well, my name is Jim Polsgrove. I'm running for State Assembly in the 31st District, which encompasses the majority of southeastern Fresno County, basically from Orange Cove over to about Carruthers, and then a large swath up the middle of Fresno from roughly Grantland out to Clovis and out to Shaw Avenue. So it's a substantial area.
I know they keep on the redistricting, it gets really confusing, but I know that's a big area that you're...
Oh, yeah. Now, the redistricting we're currently going to vote on in November, that's for federal.
Right, that shouldn't affect. Well,
Right.
we had a redistricting last term, so then
Right.
then that switched everything a little bit over of what it was before the last election. So what's your experience before this run? Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing this whole time.
I worked for 39 years in public service. Started 39 years ago with a flood control district as a design and draftsman. Worked my way up. After 3 years, I had the opportunity to go to work for the city of Fresno. Started with the water department in public works. That was before it was a separate department. I actually built the first water model in the city of Fresno, helped choose and build and maintain the first water model in the city of Fresno. After that, I promoted up to right-of-way and special districts, which we did Rule 28 program, which gets money from the utility companies to underground utility lines. Years ago, there used to be utility lines on Blackstone from Belmont all the way out past Herndon. They're no longer there. That's part of that program. Kings Canyon was the same way from about 41 out to Clovis Avenue. And we've taken all those out. It helps enhance maintenance and also enhance safety because you don't have the poles for people to run into.
And so how do you feel about what's going on in this town with water and everything that's going? I mean, you've gotten to see more than a lot of other people that are running.
I have. I mean, I've been out there and I've actually solved the problems already. I mean, so I know what the solutions can be, what they should be. I think we just need to bring some common sense back to the spectrum of what's going on. So much has gone on because we don't look at things from a common sense perspective.
What are we looking at it through?
Sometimes I wonder, to be honest with you.
I've heard that there's a lot of reasons why we have all these problems with water that we have. And what are some of the solutions that you want to solve if you're put in that position?
It's early in the campaign, but I've already been reaching out to some of the farm organizations, pistachio growers, fresh fruit growers, the county ag board. And, I was really surprised that when I asked them, if they could get one specific law passed right from the get-go that would help them the most. I really anticipated it to be, infrastructure, storage, so on and so forth. What they need is to make the regulations make sense. Right now, what happens is this type of water and this type of water are incompatible. They treat them differently. Rainwater and groundwater are treated differently. And when you've got a farmer who may not have a master's degree or bachelor's degree in science, ag sciences or whatnot, he's just out trying to make a living. Trying to get through the red tape of Sacramento is overwhelming.
That's why we've lost a lot of farmers.
Oh yeah.
And we're feeding the world essentially. California's feeding.
The world gets fed from the Central Valley. Right.
So like you said, common sense solutions, whatever, but how are we going to get through all of that? I mean, do you really have plans that once you're in there, you can do so? Because I know this problem's been going on way too long. I mean,
it has been going on way
decades.
too long. I'm hopeful that my experience with bringing people together, with my experience with the city, and then also with the county, will helped me bring some of the more common sense leaning legislators together to find real solutions to the problems. We can't go on with all these solutions that don't solve the problem.
Well, water has always been important to me, so I like that you're all about that. I feel like you're definitely, between you and your competition, you know the most about that and can really do some good. What are some other issues that you're really going to focus on?
Well, crime is a big one for the people in the community. This catch and release that we've had over historically has got to stop. People have to start paying consequences for their actions. And, we have got to make it to where if you go out and commit a crime, you're going to pay the consequences. I mean, we've seen where Sacramento has changed and, basically slapped the criminal on the wrist, let him out. They're back committing crimes. They're back breaking into your house. They're back breaking into my house.
And what is it? It only has to be up to like $9,900 or something, and then it's not a big deal.
$900.
Something crazy.
We recently had Senator Shannon Grove pushing through SB 14 and 1414, trying to make a serious felony for trafficking teenagers. This should have been a no-brainer from the get-go.
Absolutely. So that's sort of some of the stuff it's criminals. It's the next big push. It's where we're going to get our waters and get our crimes resolved. And I do like that you mentioned other people, because you have a great network of people that you have been working with. Mm-hmm. And tell our viewers about that, because I know everybody seems to like you, Jim. So tell us a little bit about the relationships that you have been working on the past few years.
Well, to be honest, some people like me and some people don't like me, but it's for the same reason.
Yeah.
If you'd have asked me a year ago, if you'd have told me a year ago that I was going to be running for state assembly, and a year from now, I'd have laughed and said, you don't know what you're talking about. I always liked being the second row of seats, helping other people. And it just, the everything lined up, and I know I can make a difference in Sacramento. I've done it in historically with my time with flood control, the city of Fresno, and the county of Fresno.
How did you get people to listen to you?
Common sense. I love common sense. I love analogies to prove a point, because a lot of people they get stuck in they'll get stuck in what their beliefs are.
Yes.
Okay. A lot of people, I hate to call them lazy, but a lot of people are basically lazy. If it's easier for somebody to think for them than it is for them to think for themselves. Okay. Recent tragedy with the assassination of Charlie Kirk. He pushed two things. That was the truth, verifiable truth, and critical thinking for yourself. And there's so many people that have got away from thinking for themselves and doing the research for themselves to actually find out what the truth is. Are you basing your beliefs on what reality is?
Right. So you've proven a lot of these points when you were making different arguments, and that's how you got these different people to listen to you.
Oh, yeah. And I've been very successful at it. And I believe that success that I've experienced already can transfer into Sacramento.
Well, we definitely hope so, and I believe that you have done a lot in your career and what you've done, but it's so funny that no matter how much you've done, there's still so much to do, that we still just have all these problems that are still compiling. I'm always shocked that we're still having the water crisis that we are right now.
When I first started putting my materials together for a campaign, it was very difficult for me, because everybody would say, my advisors would tell me, keep it down to, 2 or 3 issues that you're talking about. But it's difficult because there are so many issues that have been neglected by Sacramento for so long. That, we've got to talk about them. We cannot go on. One of the things I like to say is the United States historically has always been considered the land of opportunity. Mm-hmm. Okay, but within the land of opportunity, California has always been the land of opportunity within the land of opportunity. I'm old enough that I can remember when California was a destination state. You could come here, there was still an opportunity to succeed. Now people can't get out of here quick enough.
I'm sure you've seen a lot of friends move out, huh?
Oh, yeah. And I've got friends that live in the top 3 states that people are moving to right now, and they've all told me, Jim, give up. Get out. And the thing is that I love California. I absolutely love California. From where you and I are sitting right now, we're less than 2 hours from the coast, an hour from the mountains.
I just came from LA right now to see
We don't
you.
have hurricanes and tornadoes that pick our house up and move it to a different area code. And, what more could you ask for? All we need is some common sense in Sacramento, and we can get there.
So we can get there. Okay, so who are you working with? 'Cause like I said, you do work with a lot of people that are actually currently have seats and whatever. So when you do get this position, what do you plan to do in these relationships to make some of these things happen? Because I'm sure you've talked to some of these people and they're like, oh, we like this, that, and then you guys have talked about working together.
We have talked. I want to work with some of the current and past legislators, so that we can, build these teams, that we can get back to common sense. We can build on what we've already done. I've had the opportunity to speak to a number of governor candidates, state senator, some other state assemblyman candidates, and I believe that we can all work together to make California the golden state again.
And I know you're running against some people that are kind of incumbents, kind of already in that spot. How do you feel about all of that? Because I know that that's kind of like a hard push. And you look at the political spectrum in campaigning. How do you feel about that?
I believe I am the only Republican currently running in the race. And I've already been out in the communities. Some communities that were really surprised me. I thought they would be very heavily Democrat-leaning communities. And I found that even people in the demographics that are heavily Democrat, they're waking. I don't want to say waking up, but what they're doing is
tired of not seeing change.
They're stepping back and taking a look at reality, and reality is what's going to save our state.
And then why do you think it's been such a Democratic area? Is it because that's a big range where you have higher economic places, lower economic places. You do have a lot in that little area. Why do you think it's been predominantly Democratic the whole time?
It's hard to say. I do know that there are a number of people that they get to where they feel entitled to certain things. I do know that there's some people out there that would rather be told what to think and how to think. They don't want to do their research. Myself personally, when it comes to campaign time, I'm one of these people that I'll watch the Democratic debates. I'll watch, and granted, sometimes it's difficult not to play an Elvis Presley on the TV, but I want to know what they're thinking. I want to know why they're thinking. And I want to know what I need to do to get out there and convince people that you need to think for yourself. And I've been very successful in talking to various people and bringing it back to their reality. What's important to them. Here recently, I was talking to a young gentleman at a computer store. He was very anti-Trump. We got into a heated discussion. It was a Saturday. It was a slow day where he was working. And the thing that came up is I finally got, kind of annoyed that I wasn't able to make my point to him, And so I finally asked him, I said, at your age, you're probably thinking about buying a house. Okay? And he said, yes. And at that point, I said, well, let me ask you a question. And he told me he was actually in the process of buying a house at that time.
Nice. Wow.
And that was in 2021. It's been a few years ago. And I just asked him the question. I says, with the current mortgage rates at 7.5%, how much more house could you have bought 2 years ago when under the Trump administration, the mortgage rates were 3.5%? And I could literally see the 1,000-watt light bulb go off over his head, because I had brought this back to a personal situation with him that he could relate to. And at that point, he looked at me and he said, I think I need to rethink this. And I think there's a lot of people out there that need to think critically and rethink their position and why they've taken that position. Is it because that they've looked at the facts, or is it because the peer pressure, for whatever reason, has, swayed them in that direction?
So what are some of the biggest changes you want to see in this specific area that you're running for? I know crime is a big one because it's gotten so bad. So crime's one of them, the water changes. What else?
You got crime, you got water. Of course, you've got the homeless situation, which I think they're addressing backwards. They're focusing on taking the homeless people and putting a roof over their head. But they're ignoring what is making the people homeless in the first place. So what you've got to do is stop that influx of homelessness in order to solve the problem. The state has put billions of dollars into the homeless program right now, and it just keeps getting worse. I think I told you earlier, I like analogies. It's like having a swimming pool in your backyard that you've neglected and has turned green. You've got a 1-inch hose that you're pumping that green water out, but you've got a 2-inch hose pumping green water in. You'll never solve the problem if you don't cut off the spigot on the influx. And that's what we've got to do. The vast majority of the homeless have, either alcohol, drug, or mental health issues. We've got to address that in order to finally solve the homelessness problem.
And you've seen a rise on both crime and homeless, especially in your district. It's been. And
actually they run hand in hand, because you've got the homeless people out there, and not all of them, but they've got to survive and get their drugs or get their food or whatnot, however they get. So they're out committing these petty crimes. So they run hand in hand.
Well, what can we do to help you when I think it's always, like you said, you're in a battle where everyone else is like a Democrat, you're running against a few people. What can people that are watching you and they like you, how can we help?
First of all, I'd ask them to go to my website. It's www.polsgrove4california.com, and I'll spell that out because I did my last name's a little strange anyway. It's Polsgrove, the number 4, and California, abbreviated CALIF. Go to there. I've got my biography. I've got how I stand on a number of issues. And I've also, unlike some people out there running for office, I've put possible solutions to the problems in there.
I think that's what everybody wants. You know what I mean? That's what we're all looking for. So that's great.
I've also got my endorsements. I've got a broad range of endorsements from a lot of different communities here in.
Anybody that you want to list off top?
Buddy Mendez is the supervisor for the area. Rob Schneider, the comedian, was able to get his endorsement. I've got a video on there about it. He's a really cool guy. I've got about 20 endorsements.
You mentioned Shannon Grove. Did she endorse you?
Shannon hasn't endorsed me yet. She's in kind of a strange situation because she's termed out. And she doesn't want to endorse. She hasn't endorsed. I don't think she's endorsed anybody as of yet.
I think you're right with that.
Just this past weekend, I got Drew Bessinger, who's the one of the councilmen for the city of Clovis, which Clovis isn't even in my district. Diane Pierce, the Mayor Pro Tem of Clovis.
So you have some great people supporting you. So as a community, what can we do? We're going to go to your website, and then we can donate, obviously.
Right. And then I also have another page that you can contact me. I get the emails that are sent in.
I love that. I love how accessible you are, and that's important. We want somebody that we can talk to.
And the one thing I will point out is I will answer every email. Don't expect it within an hour or two.
You're a better man than I am.
But I will answer every email that I receive.
You are really awesome with that.
And then also, most importantly, running any campaign, I've got a source by which you can donate to my campaign.
What are you going to do as far as your next event. Do you have any events where you're going to speak to the public that we can go and watch? Even if it's not your event, but it's an event that you're going to be a part of. What events can we?
This coming Saturday, I'm supposed to be in the car show at the Fresno Fairgrounds.
Ooh.
I've got a classic car, and I'm going to be showing it there.
So
I was in a car show last Saturday at Club One Casino for the Fallen Heroes group, and so I had my car in that and spoke at that, as well as Lorenzo Rios, Nathan Magsid, and some other political figures in the area that spoke, raising money for that good cause.
So what time is the car show this Saturday at the fair?
I've got to be there at 9 o'clock, and I think it runs till about 2 or 3.
So yeah, if you guys are in there in the early, later morning or whatever, just go see the car show, say hi to him. Maybe if you're nice, he'll give us a ride around in your car.
Well, we'll talk about it.
No, but hey, in that email.
They probably won't let me.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so social media, are you active on that?
I have my website. I also have a Facebook, X, and Instagram site that you can go to. On the all 4 of them are Polsgrove for California. California abbreviated in the number 4.
That's easy to remember. And then you're also good about listing events that are open to the public that you'll be at, right?
Correct.
Perfect. So everybody follow him. And then, if you want to ask him a question, we're going to test this email factor. So everybody watching, please send him an email and ask a question, because you're great at answering them. So
I'll get back to you.
Thank you so much for coming on the show today. It's so great to see you around, and I hope you win.
I do too. I really believe, if I didn't believe I could make a difference, I wouldn't be in it. But I believe that I can make a difference. You know, I'm just hard-headed enough that I can go up against the political standard in Sacramento and do it some other very successful representatives have done in the past.
Well, we would love to see that. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for coming to my show again.
Yeah, thank you for having me again.
I love it. I just always feel like one day it's going to be way too big to get here. I was happy the first time you came, and we're happy to have you back, because you travel all over.
Yeah, no, so do you. I mean, I know you've been everywhere right now, so.
Yeah. You're filming for long periods of times a lot in LA. Tell us about this last project that you.
So the.
I love the trailer, by the way. It's so cool. It's so badass.
So Malibu Horror Story. Yeah, I am actually. It just that's why I wanted to come on here and get the word out about it. But we just finally got it out. It's gonna be streaming on, or it is streaming today, which this will probably air on Thursday.
So yeah, it's streaming.
Yeah, so it's streaming. On Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Vudu, Fandango, and Google Play.
And you got to shoot it in Malibu?
Yeah, we shot it in Malibu. We shot in Malibu, Santa Clarita, Hollywood, different spots, but mainly in Malibu, yeah.
So who do you play?
I play Carlos Garcia. He's one of the missing teenagers. It's about 4 teenagers that, go missing. They go in the they're taking their last trip, together before they go into college, and these little party animals, they want to take their last trip to out into this big the mountains and stuff in Malibu. And I play one of the teenagers. They pretty much disappear. They missing without a trace.
even in Malibu, you're not safe.
Yeah, even in Malibu.
Oh my goodness, how fun was it? Fun?
Yeah,
filming this.
Oh yeah, it was definitely fun. It was a journey. We started off with the proof of concept called Malevolent. We shot that in like 2011. And then from
no way.
Yeah, we shot that in 2011, and then in like in 2012 they were like, hey, we want to shoot. The producers and stuff met up with investors are like, hey, this is awesome. Like, let's get a bigger budget. Like, let's shoot this with a big budget and stuff. So we shot in 2012 the footage that you guys will see now, and we've been at it, trying to get this thing out there.
So you're right. It really took that long to get out there.
Yes. Just because at the time, because it's a found footage. It's like found footage,
right. Which makes it fun because it's with that kind of missing, you want it to be like, you want it to be real. So
exactly.
I love it.
Yeah. So that's the thing too. They wanted 4 unknown actors, like when we got
you were unknown then.
So yeah, they wanted unknown actors and stuff, and so I was like, shoot, but the thing was, they could have cast somebody else in 2012 because they got a huge budget, and I remember another producers came on and they were like we could cast anybody we want or whatever, but the producer and director they stuck with it, and they're like, let's keep these 4 original teens that we worked with in 2010, because we were already friends, we were made that chemistry or whatever, why go through it all over again. So yeah, we did that, and but yeah, it's been a long journey.
So they should put out a little bit sooner though, because I bet you guys are all doing. You're known now, and I bet some of the other castmates have been doing stuff since then, right?
Yeah, I was actually just talking to my buddy. We actually took different paths. I'm still acting. One of the other guys, Master P, his Master P's son, Vino Miller.
Oh, how fun!
Yeah, he's in it as well.
Does he act or not really?
He's actually a cop now in San Francisco. So everybody's went their own separate. Everybody's doing their own thing. But yeah, also starring in the movie. What the director did was because the studios at the time, they were like, we're done with found footage, it's not selling anymore or whatever.
Oh, but after Blair Witch Project, then it was big.
Exactly. Paranormal Activity, Paranormal Activity.
Right.
So after Paranormal Activity and all that, they were like, found footage is dead. Like, we don't, nobody watches that anymore or whatever. So the big studios, they weren't really messing with it. So the director and producers, they had to go another way, which was make it it's like a true crime documentary. So you're gonna get like it's like 2 movies in one pretty much, because you're gonna get the 4 teenagers, which I'm in, are like found footage, and then you're gonna get the other 4 new cast members, like the recent day.
I love this already. This is my kind of jam.
Yeah, it's really fun.
I can't wait to. I'll watch it tonight then.
Yeah, it's a really fun movie. It's really fun. I mean, it's not like it's not gonna be like Oscar contender or whatever,
No, but these are great now.
It's fresh. It's fun. It's new. It's different. I mean, how many while the studios are making all these remakes and all this, they're wasting their money on remakes and stuff that people don't really want to watch. Like, why, we have these independent horror filmmakers that are making really awesome, films, and it's like, I think I hope it does good, hopefully people like it. And because we did have a theatrical run in 2023, we had a small theatrical run, but the thing was, we couldn't really promote it because it was during the SAG strike. Yeah, I remember
Oh
that.
my
that
goodness, we always get screwed up on things that aren't ourselves. I was like, I was supposed to have something that was going to be a big red carpet, then COVID hit. So I
think we were talking about that last time I came
it's like
on.
we always get screwed out of like these things, but it's kind of a good time now, though.
Yes, now everything, marketing, everything's been going out there, promotions, and
I think it looks real. I love the whole trailer. Right? Like that looks really good.
Yeah, so it's in the cave. It takes place in. I mean, if you like, caves and you're scared of caves or whatever, it's a movie for you. It's like I said, it's found footage. It's like if you're into true crime documentaries, all that stuff. I think people are gonna really love it. I think they're gonna be really into it. So.
And then what else have you done? You just worked with Marcus recently. Tell us about that project.
Yeah, so I worked with Marcus Spencer on I think it's called Six Degrees. I played a cop on it, like it's like the cheating cop, the cop that's cheating on.
You're a bad cop.
You're a bad cop. Yeah, he brought me on. Appreciate that.
And you've worked with him before.
Yes, yeah. I worked with him on State of Consciousness. That's how I met him.
So it's fun to work with them, huh?
Oh,
it's always great when you get to work with people.
Marcus is great. Marcus is a dope, filmmaker, and he always has these great projects.
And we're talking about like his stuff gets out there too. That's one thing we like. Well, shout out to Marcus. His stuff actually gets out. It doesn't take years and years. No offense to the other movie, but sometimes when it takes a long time, you're like,
Yeah, exactly. Like his stuff. If you're gonna work with Marcus, it's gonna get out there. So yeah, shout out Marcus. And yeah, I did that, and then I also worked on now it's called Dreamer Cinderella, but it was called The Girl at the Fruit Stand, starring Tara Reid and Paul Rodriguez, the comedian Paul Rodriguez.
Oh wow, okay, so that's out now. We can watch it or not yet?
No, not yet. I did hear they're trying to get a limited theatrical release as well.
So it was a girl at the fruit stand, and now it's called Cinderella.
The Dreamer Cinderella. The Dreamer Cinderella, as in like the Dreamer Act, for the Latinos and all that stuff. It's like kind of like it has to do with the immigration and all that stuff that's going on, recently with like all the ICE and stuff like that. And
is it a comedy?
Yeah, it's like what is it called? Romance?
Rom-com.
Rom-com, yeah. It's like...
Well, that's interesting, an ICE rom-com. I love it. I've never heard of that.
It's about this girl, I guess. She's like she's this waitress, and then these Hollywood producers are like, we want you to make... They're like, I bet you can't make a film with this like ugly girl, that she's not no movie star. She doesn't look like a movie star. You can't.
Pretty.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So and then the producer, he like falls in love with her and stuff happens. And
Paul directed it and wrote it?
No, he was in it.
Oh, he just was in it. Because I remember he was also in a Cinderella story. He was in that. He's in two Cinderella movies. Yes. That'll be fun to joke with him about that and be like, Cinderella.
He plays the girl's dad, actually, in the one of the main girl's dad in this one. Yeah, I didn't get to meet him, but... people
don't realize we work on opposite days. You always get to meet the cool kids.
Yeah, I know. Like we were talking about... It was
premiere.
a last minute.
Meet him at the premiere.
Oh yeah, and then it was a last minute thing, And then Tara Reid, she was on American Pie and like a bunch of other stuff. So
that's really cool. No, I totally want to see that. We support Paul Rodriguez. He does a lot of local stuff.
Yeah, Paul Rodriguez is awesome. Yeah, I mean, hopefully I get to actually meet him.
I'm sure at the red carpet he'll be there.
But yeah, that's what I've been working on, and just still auditioning, still grinding, and hopefully we book. My goal right now is to book like some TV, some co-star, guest star work. That's what me and my manager, my agent, we're trying to push.
Do you still have active management in Los Angeles?
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
all
really cool.
my management and all that stuff.
And it's really cool because like you live in Kingsburg, so you get to travel around and do those types of things. And I think it's good that people know that. People ask me about that all the time too. It's like we had talked to Jim about living in a good area where you can go, anyway. And
well, yeah, because I mean, like the industry totally changed after COVID. After COVID, it's like it's all self-tape.
Submit online thing.
Yes.
I remember, when I was a teenager driving back and forth to LA, and it was terrible.
Well, when I was doing Malibu Horror Story, that's how it was. Like I was.
Yeah, because it was still in that time.
Yeah, so it was like, oh, you got the audition, so I go, and then they're like, oh, you got a callback, so I have to drive back.
So now we only have to take off work when we get the job, which is great.
Exactly.
That's great. So
that's the good thing. Now it's like I shoot my audition at home whenever I have time, send it in. If I book, I get to go. And that's how it works. And because I mean, come on, like the rent right now in LA is crazy. And,
absolutely.
So, and then gas too, to be driving back and forth just from. Commercials are still in person, the auditions, because they want to see you in person and they want to see what you really look like. It's different, than film and TV, but mainly film and TV, it's all self-tape. So. And
you've been doing this for You've been doing this for a while.
Oh, yeah.
It's not going to show our age. I started young too. So.
Yeah, I started in 08, 09.
But I think it's so cool. It shows people that like you can live anywhere and do these things.
Yeah,
and have a great long career because you've been doing this for a while. You have a great career. You keep on doing fun things.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like I said, the industry's changed, and you don't have to be in Hollywood to actually work in it. And there's a lot of even now, like if you want to book in New York, like I've had auditions where it's like. There's project shoots in New York. I do the self tape, and sometimes they'll fly you out. Production will. If not, you book as what's called a local. Like you work locally, which you pay your own flight and your own hotel.
And you've done that?
I had booked something that I was going to do that for a TV show, but the dates change, and
that's always the worst. That happens all the time, and that's a big deal.
I was supposed to be they gave my agent this date for me, so I had booked the flight for this date. But production, TV shows move so quick, and it's like, oh no, we need them today. Like, how am I gonna make it? So
you got to book your flight. You don't have that private jet to be like, hey, we gotta come. We're coming to Kingsburg, but that'd be really cool.
Yeah, exactly. So that happened, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for people to finally watch Malibu Horror Story. I think it's gonna. I'm
gonna stop griping about all my stuff that's in post production after your story. I'll be like, I guess it hasn't been that bad.
Exactly. That's what I tell people, and some people I did this movie and it still hasn't come out or it's still being worked on.
Story of my life.
But the thing is, Scott Sloan, the director, producer, and writer of Malibu, he could have gave up on it and could have moved on to other projects. He could have moved on to, because he has other projects that he could have been working on. But he stuck with this because they believed in it. And
that's really cool.
They believed in it. They knew what it was worth. And
you were a teenager back then. Now you're not even a teenager anymore.
I know. Yeah, but and it's like, they didn't give up. That's what I'm thankful for. I'm grateful for them, for the whole team, that they didn't give up on it.
Our careers, we never gave up. During all the weird stuff and COVID and going back and forth, we stuck with it.
Exactly. We're still sticking with it, and. Yeah, I'm just grateful they didn't give up, and now that it's streaming and everything, I'm just really excited. I hope you get to check it out too.
Everyone's got to check that out. And then we know about a lot of your stuff in post production. Is there anything else upcoming that you're going to work on that you haven't done yet?
Not as of recently.
We still have a lot of post production.
Just everything's on post right now. Yeah, exactly. Post production.
You just finished working with Marcus very recently.
Yeah,
that was this year.
That was recent.
That was this year. Yeah.
Yeah, that was this year. I got that with Marcus, and then the Rodriguez and Tara Reid film, and a couple local commercials, just locally and stuff. But like I say, just been at it, auditioning, and hopefully we book something. Hopefully we come back and it's something else.
Tell everybody your social media, because that's what I love the most about you. You're really great about telling us what's out, and that's where I can see all the cool things you're doing. So what's your social media that we follow?
On Instagram, Hector Gomez Jr. That's where I'm at. You guys could follow me on there and keep up with all my stuff. So that's what I'm mainly on. And on Facebook also as Hector Gomez Jr.
That is so cool. We love seeing all the stuff that you do. And
thank you.
Next time, the next video, you better still remember me and be like, hey, I gotta come. Out of your New York movie, hey, I'll have to fly to New York to come and interview if that's what it takes.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much, Sparkle. Appreciate it.
We are about to begin our first EVP session. 4 boys came up here and were never heard from again. You know what happened to them. We are not alone.
Thanks for coming on the show today.
Yeah, happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
An American Abroad. What's
Yes,
this about?
Absolutely. It's about a lovely woman going through making a travel series and then falling in love and the trials and travails of that scenario. Yeah, so it's a feature film. We had a premiere for it in the Historic Crest Theater this last Friday, so just a couple days ago.
Oh, yeah, and it was really good. Like, a lot of people showed up and turned out, a lot of people in the local film community, and then some.
Yeah, I think there's about maybe 150, maybe more, of my friends and family and well-wishers and everyone else, and it was great. And I think it played really well. I think, you know, there were laughs, a lot of consistent laughter, which was really good, especially in a place that big. To get that amount of people to make that place feel full was really good. So I was really happy with the turnout and the expectations being met. Absolutely.
That's really cool. Okay, so who wrote and directed it?
It was written and written by Brian and Marsha, and they are the co-leads. And then it was directed by Marsha, and then Ian and my brother Ian and I do a lot of sort of the technical directing on set, I would say.
Wow, so that turned out good, because usually people write and act in their own stuff. You never know how that's going to turn out, but you kind of helped direct them, so it turned out.
I think in this particular case, she's been working on this character for a long time, and this character is very synonymous with her in a lot of ways, and so it's a quirkier, more ridiculous version of Marsha that she's portraying on screen, and she's done this in other projects, and so she's just letting her nonsensical side out a little bit, and so that's not too hard. But it is hard going to all these different countries. We went to 7 countries.
Wow, you guys filmed in 7 different countries?
Yeah, so we were in, we did Amsterdam and Lisbon and 2 places in Greece and Turkey, South Africa, some other places. Yeah, it was quite a bit.
How long did it take to really do all this when all is said and done? I know you guys kind of broke it up, but...
Yeah, it was over the course of 6 months that we shot it in 2021, something like that. It was
That's not bad.
And we're still in COVID too, so it's like we were going serious protocol, doing our PCR
was that kind of
testing.
helpful in a way?
I think it was a little more empty than it could have been.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
I would think there were some perks into it,
and part of our whole push for the thing was like trying to get people back to traveling as soon as possible, because she's such a strong advocate for traveling in general and just the idea of getting out there and seeing other cultures and experiencing other things. So I think that was, the backbone of what we were doing was part of that.
Was this like one of the first times you guys had been to some of these countries, I imagine?
For me, yeah, I think probably 2/3 of the places, that was the first time I'd been there. So yeah, that was the only time I'd been to Turkey, only time I'd been to Greece, South Africa. I've been to multiple other places in Africa, but South Africa, that was the first time. So second time on safari, so that was super fun. We got to do shark diving. That was cool. Yeah.
What? Shark diving?
Yeah, so maybe diving is in quotes, but it's on the side. They have like this cage that's on the side of the boat, and you're out there and it's moving around. And
you're scuba out?
No, we're not that deep. No, we're sort of just like off the side and then underwater and then back up. The scarier thing for me, this is the goofy part of it, is so like this thing is not much wider than, well, let's say it's as deep as this chair is right now. And so this is like bars right here, right? And the shark's coming right as close as you are, but you're in here. But I have this this big dome that goes on the front of the camera, and it fits in this housing so you could take it underwater, so it's waterproof. That dome we rented, and the guy's like, hey, if you scratch that, That's like 10, 12 grand.
Oh,
that you owe us if you scratch the front of
I'd be
this.
so stressed.
And so my back is up against this bar, and then right in front of me, like 3 inches in front of me, is the bars, which are going to scratch this glass. And so that's okay if I could hold one hand or something, but you can't hold that thing with one hand because it's floating around in the water and you're banging around. So I have to loop my foot in the back of the cage. And so there's nothing normally sitting outside the cage, but now most of my foot is outside of the cage.
Except the sharks.
Yeah.
Except the shark that's
so
hanging
that was
out.
the only thing I was worried about. Like, the shark's going to loop back, and you can see them going back around every time
It
because
was
they're
like
just going around in
10
circles.
grand or Justin's foot. I mean, I don't know. It's a
10
tough.
grand. I don't know how much my foot's worth. I never priced it out. So that was my only worry, is I didn't want to scratch the damn thing. Otherwise, it was fun. Yeah, it was cool. So that was one of many things that we had a good time with, and we did some
An adventure.
Yeah, hot air balloons. We did
How cool.
like actual walking safaris. So we're out there with any animal you could think of could be out there that would be present.
And that
in
wasn't
the,
scary?
I love it. I don't know. I just think it's cool. So I mean, there were times when it was scary. Yeah, an elephant ran at us, and like our dude Devin put up his, he used his magical safari guide training and powers,
whisperer.
and like,
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
it was so good. We've done a couple tours with him, and he's powerful. He knows how to talk to them, so that was cool. But yeah, there's scary things, but that's why not. Good.
How exciting. And did you guys have some downtime? I mean, I don't know a lot of it because it's like work, and you have some playtime, or work was play? Work was almost play at
Work
that
is
point.
play most of the time. The thing about doing a travel series or a travel-based narrative thing, you're there to go to the place that is the most famous place and do
Yeah,
the
so
most
that is
famous
the
things.
most- yeah, exactly.
So it's like, what are you going to do on your day off? You're like, well, we already went to the Eiffel Tower, or we already went to
Right,
the Louvre,
yeah.
we already went to the whatever. Like, that's how that is. So on your day off, you're like, okay, cool. I'm going to sleep and try to get American food. like sometimes it's like a goofy thing. But no, we were running pretty fast most of the time, and there's just enough time to like do laundry and sleep a little bit and then get ready for the next day. And we're working on the script. We're trying to make all those things tie in. Like, obviously when you're on location in a foreign place and you have a small crew, you're nimble, and so things can change, or you realize like, hey, there's a different place that we want to shoot. That thing fell through, this thing's better, whatever it is. And so you make those sorts of adjustments
And
along
weather
the way.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, that can lead to audibles as well. So I think that's the best thing, is just to stay flexible and stay smart.
What was the weirdest thing that happened that you guys did not foresee or didn't expect, and that turned out a certain way?
Anytime you rent gear, so we're renting gear at a lot of places.
In these other countries, or
Yeah,
you
the
just don't
stuff
know?
just shows up, and it's like way bigger, goofier, different, or whatever, and you're just like, that's why American Grip Company makes the best C-stands, because these things are monstrosities, and there's no reason these should exist. Like, it's just like that sort of stuff. So you would get all this stuff. Like, literally at one point we were trying to strap everything on the back of a donkey. Like, we're in a place
What
where
a great story. Oh, wow.
there's no motor vehicles, no motorized vehicles in this one place in Hydra, Greece. And so we're like, well, okay, well, how are we going to get it over to there? And we're like, put it on the donkey. And then so, you're trying to figure out how to be as light and nimble as possible in those situations as well with your gear. And we're going light to begin with because these little cameras, like, this is all we have.
Right.
We have 3 of these, that's about it, and a drone. That's our whole camera system. And so we have enough lighting to make sure she looks nice and she's got good diffusion over her and all that stuff, trying to take care of our actress. So that's most of what we did.
The behind the scenes story almost seems like as exciting as like the movie itself. They're going to be like this whole behind the scenes like show on the.
And it is. When you see the movie, you'll see that it is very much like that. So, my brother is one of the shooters, and so like he's in a bunch of the scenes. He's sort of her boyfriend within the movie, Brian, who plays Arnold. He's the straight man. He's the voice of reason most of the time. He has a few times where he goes off the rails, but generally she's ridiculous and he's normal, and that's the comedy, right? The contrast between the two. But then Ian is the opposite of her as well in some scenes, and he's sort of over her whole shtick, or he just wants her to stay on task and like get to the point of the scene or whatever it is, right? And so he's getting to embody that within the scene while we're literally shooting that scene, sometimes trying to get to the point of that scene. So I mean, there's a lot of meta levels of like this is the crew, but this is also the fake crew within the movie, but then she's doing a thing, but then we're trying to get her to actually do the thing in real life, as well as Ian being,
Have you ever done anything like this before? Was this kind of a lot different than a lot of things you shoot?
No, it's similar to Brick Madness. So the movie we did a few.
Yeah. Okay.
That helped educate me and inform us in a lot of ways of like. We're always trying to make these things make sense, and this isn't strictly a mockumentary. I'm getting a little bit in the weeds here, but when people make mockumentaries, I like there to never be a camera where there couldn't be a camera. And what I mean by that is, I don't want if this camera right here is looking at us on the 2 shot, I don't want when it cuts to this camera for there to be another camera right here on this side of you that was like clearly couldn't exist here. And a lot of shows do that. And we tried never to do that. We're very careful, like, this thing couldn't be seen from this angle because in real life, what we see is this. And so we try to always fix those things. And we try to not, in Brick Madness, I never had a camera running that didn't have a purpose to be running to get some, even if some dude had to say something that was super important to the narrative, I was like, how do we make that make sense?
If it wasn't on there, it wasn't on there.
Yeah, because it wouldn't exist. And so I always try to, on things like that, in my mind, I'm like, the movie that happens outside of what we see on screen is actually maybe more interesting. Like, I like that idea.
Yeah,
like, there's other stuff happening in this world. That world is transcendent based on what this little microcosm of it is. That's how I look at it.
So I know it was a super small cast. Did you guys have extras? And how did that work when you went to like these areas where the putting it out for the locals? Like, hey, come and do that. How did that work?
Yeah, a lot of that is like we'll have one fixer. We'll have a person there that is a local that's setting everything up for us, sort of like a producer. And maybe we'll have them on screen, and maybe they're part of like the local, the owner, the mayor, the whatever.
Yeah,
that sort of stuff. We'll also do a lot of man on the street stuff, and 90% of that was totally unscripted. Marsha's doing a great job.
An American film crew comes in and wants to make a movie. Yeah, I want to be in it.
Exactly.
Like, you get people to be like, yeah.
Yeah. And generally, she's just walking up to people in a town square or whatever it is. Hey, tell me about this, tell me about that, and we're using the best pieces of that. And as a crew, we have 3 cameramen, and we're trying to just keep it in focus, keep coverage of that, make sure we get what they're talking, but we don't know where she's going or what's going to happen, or it's like we're just trying to keep up on a lot of those things. So that's all real. All of the man on the street stuff is all 100% real, and that's just happening. Occasionally we find someone and we're like, hey, can we dig into this a little more? You're really good on camera. Can you stand there? But like, we're not telling them what to say in almost any occasion.
So a lot of it was all improv.
Yeah, and most of what my brother says is improv, and like his reactions as the other crew member, the like cameraman. That's his name in the thing. We've gone back and forth. He says it's Cameron the Man, because she just calls him Cameraman. And there's a whole bit that got cut from the movie where we talk about that, Cameron the Man. Anyway.
That must have been really hard to edit. I mean, because there was so much unscripted. So how did you guys figure out this is what we should leave in and edit, and how did that work?
Yeah, it gets to be a delicate balance because you don't want to leave these very fun improvisational moments on the cutting floor, but you also can't divert from the narrative so much that you're like, what show is this? Is this just an interview show? Like, what are we getting at here? Because you really need to stay with the love interest. You need to be in the rom-com world. You need to be in the adventure world. Like, this is where this plot is moving to. We can't spend 10 minutes talking to a local, no matter how interesting they are.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're always trying to find like the little nugget within their conversation that matches what the people are talking, what the 2 main characters happen to be going through. So we could find someone that's talking about a diet that has like a diet, a little insight to that, and Marsha's struggling with her new diet. Makes sense. Like those sorts of things. So that's what we try to do.
So the $1 million question, where can we watch this now?
You can watch it on so many different places. It's on like satellite, it's on cable, it's on any of those services where there's any sort of video on demand, you can buy it. What we're mainly trying to send people to is Amazon. So we want anyone who can go to Amazon who can buy it for, I think, $9.99, $10.99, something like that.
We're all Prime members. So
or you can get it for $4. You can rent it for $4, I think is what it is. So
it's not bad.
No, that's what we want, and that's really like, just leave the simplest, easiest review. If you like it, give it a 5 stars, and say, this was fun. I like this. Cute movie. Doesn't matter. Like, super simple reviews totally work for us. That is what we need because, algorithms, right, run our entire lives these days. And it's like,
yes.
Once the algorithm picks it up and says, okay, this is a prominent indie film, then it gets put on the list, and then it sees 10 times more potential audience than it would if it doesn't. So right now, like this week, literally came out on the 3rd. So this week is prime time for us to be like, just rent it, watch it, put it on in the background. If you think you might watch 10 minutes of it and then you want to leave a good review, just do it. Like do it now.
Yeah. And then, obviously, that's really cool. You guys actually got the premiere going on the actual day that it came out. I love that. That doesn't happen often.
Yeah, we're distributed, nationwide. There's some international stuff coming. You could buy a damn DVD if you wanted. Like, it's everywhere. And hopefully it'll be on, and it'll end up being on other things as well. TVOD, SVOD, whatever.
So is it open for a sequel? Is that...
she wants to do something. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the characters are good. I think there's a lot of places to go with them, literally places to go with them. She's doing a late night show within the world. There's all sorts of things we could do with that. And I think the basis for it is pretty strong. And it's about all her characters' loony ideas. And I know from personal experience that those are limitless. So,
yeah, when you travel that much, you're like, you're bound to have learned everything about a person in that space. Because that must have been a great bonding experience for all of you, huh?
Yeah, what's great about it is the crew itself. We were already out. Essentially, all of us were out. All friends, good friends, outside of that.
You kind of have to be, because that could be really not fun if you guys aren't,
Yeah, if we weren't on the same page, that would have been hellacious. And fortunately, all of us were super fun. We liked being with each other.
That's important.
That, we were all a family, and so that worked out really great. And, it's still people I hire. One of them is my brother. Some other people that if I ever get a chance to go to, we had someone from, 2-3 people from Amsterdam on the crew. Our Dutch crew with Jeroen and Deke, and then we also had someone, Yun, from Thailand, and that dude has traveled around the world with us too. So it's a very sort of international crew for an international show / movie, which is really cool. That's been fun.
Now you want to go back to this place, you have people to stay with. You're like, I know this person, I have this friend here. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, it's been fun. So, I think to all the cast and crew did a great job. For the Crest Theater, they did such a good job of hosting. And
was everybody local from there that was from America? Were they all Central Valley people?
All the people that shot the rest of the movie or whatever?
Yeah, like the people that you traveled with when you guys went to all these places.
They're mainly LA. I mean, Marcia lives in a lot of different places. The other 2 main actors are from LA. And then some of the other crew, like the sound and second AC is from LA.
So there's just you guys that were from the Central Valley.
And then a Vegas guy. Yeah.
But you guys had a Central Valley premiere. That's really cool, though.
Yeah. So
I think that's pretty cool.
Us 2 plus like 2 editors that worked on it in addition to me.
But that makes sense because, that's local. Like you said, she's a nomad, so
yeah.
It's good to be centralized to there, so.
Yeah. I was glad a lot of people came out and it was successful and, have a lot of gratefulness to all the people who helped. And Heather helped to promote, things like that. You helped promote, helped set up the after party. That's fantastic. My friend Serene did a lot to get us on TV. We were on... I was on 24 and 30, something like that. And so that was all.
It's a lot of work that goes into all of this.
Oh, my Lord. There's so much. Marcia's like, hey, this is a present for you having the premiere in the Central Valley. And I'm like, I spent 100 hours on this. It's so much work to do these things.
The present, I'm like, right? is that really the prize? Or about?
Yeah.
But we at the Central Valley love that because, it's something cool that we can be proud of. And we are like, hey, it's Central Valley stuff going around the world.
Yeah. I'm always bothering someone. I always bother, sending 100 text messages to all these different people. You're the beneficiary. You know when my birthday's coming around because I text you 10 times. So that's my lot in life these days, is hitting up all my friends, and anyone I've shared a coffee with in the last 10 years knows that we had a movie. So
everybody needs to watch, rent An American Abroad.
Yep.
American Abroad, and everyone
go to Amazon. Yeah.
And follow you for all the stuff you're doing, all the coolness you're doing.
Justin Makes Movies, at Justin Makes Movies on Instagram. Or you can like me on Facebook for all my ramblings, which I'm sure you've seen before. Oh, yeah. You want to see some fun parodies in video. Yeah, and Blair Media is our video production company. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Heather, come and say hi really quick. You gotta wave hi. You're now just a face and a voice.
Hello.
Yeah, you gotta
Big
scrunch
timer
down.
over here.
Just scrunch
That's
down.
right.
Hi.
Hi.
There we go.
Hi.
Hi.
There we go.
There we go.
Thank you for helping.
Thanks so much.
Cool.
What can I say about Marsha? She's a handful, a lot of work, a lot of fun, perfectly imperfect.
Marsha, are you...
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. You can talk. Honestly, nothing bothers me anymore. Wish I had narcolepsy.
I don't think you do. I need help. She's dieting.
What diet this time?
I'm on the pork diet. I'm on the air diet. I'm a fruitarian.
How come you never busted all this stuff out in Lanai or Cappadocia?
Because you think I was strange. Why do you keep on looking at that? We're on safari. The beauty's out there. We are traveling the world doing this amazing reality show to unite the world. What a blessing it is to be here today. Do you like me?
Felt right in the moment, felt right in the summertime. It felt right drinking cherry wine with you. Just wanted to own it, just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here, oh we are just stressed here. Used to be so easy with you. Now I must confess here, oh I must confess dear, don't think I'm in love with you. Winter is coming and I don't know what to do, and there's no more use in running, no more running to you. And I don't want your loving, I don't wanna be just friends, knowing all this time we were playing pretend.
It's a mystery.